Every commercial building you inspect is going to have a unique electrical system. This is why it is so important to do a preliminary walkthrough. Maybe even long before your preliminary walkthrough, during the research phase and you're investigating what's present in the building, will you start to formulate your electric plan. The building we're going to look at today is just that. It's got a very unique system. In fact, this is going to be a system you're probably going to run into during your commercial property inspections, because I've got multiple buildings on one footprint. With multiple buildings, we can also have multiple disconnects as well as multiple meters. So let's take a look at each of our individual scenarios as we approach the inspection of this commercial property. So now, when we get a little closer to the property, I'm going to take a look at what we have as we approach it. And the key is try to start to deduce the systems that are present. So the first thing we're going to have is we've got a meter here, and we've got a piece of panel here. Now, you should never touch anything unless you've verified its lack of power first. That's the key why I use a non-contact voltage detector. So I will touch it to all pieces of metal that surround any piece of electric. Now, if you remember certain rules when doing any type of inspection, first rule, working space. That's 30, 36, 78. That's our working space for any piece of equipment at a minimum. The larger our voltage, the wider our space needs to be, and what's behind us. Since we are outside, I don't worry about what's behind me, and so now I can open up this with these panels. Now, when you're inspecting a panel like this door has to open up to at least 90 degrees, if not wider. This opens up to a complete 180. We can open this up safely. Now, when I'm looking inside of the panel, I'm looking for any physical damage. That could be burn marks, that could be rust marks. I also, since we are on the outside of the building, want to verify that this is at least a Type 3 panel. I'll know it's a Type 3 panel by looking at the panel number and rating that is on the label plate itself. Now, when I look at this, I'm going to determine where's my service disconnect. That's right here. It says main or principal, or it will say service disconnect. And that's what's servicing through this meter, goes through here, and is going into the building. The next I want to identify, and I identify it through this label, is first, what's my maximum amperage rated for this label, and then what is my voltage. And my voltage in this particular case is 600 volts, 347 volt Y, and then what distributes through the rest of this. So everything going through here is rated at that voltage, 600 volts, and rated at that amperage through here. Now, any one of these breakers that we see distributing through here has that voltage. Now, as I said, this is a 250 amp panel. If this is my disconnect, I need to match the disconnect with the panel. And so in this case, I'm matching a 200 amp disconnect with a 250 amp panel. Since this number is less than this number, then we are safely operating this panel. So once again, we're dealing with 600 volts, but 200 amps. From here, we'll look at the remainder of our distribution as we go through the building. We've come inside and we're approaching the first panel that we have. Once again, before I do anything, I'm going to identify our working space. As we see behind me, I've got a lot of encroachments in the working space. I've got portable ladders, I've got a mop bucket, I've got waste containers. Now, as a commercial property inspector, I would definitely take a photo of it, talk about encroachment into the working space, recommend these items never be stored in front of the panel. But as a practical inspector, these are on wheels. I'm certainly going to move the mop bucket out of my way so that I can inspect. And if I can safely get in here around the ladder, I will do so. But in this particular case, I'm going to move this ladder as well, only because it's a very tall ladder and it's high voltage electric. Now, before I touch the panel, once again, I am going to use my non-contact voltage detector, and I am going to touch and make sure that I have no loose voltage around this panel. Now, what's interesting on this inspection is you can see that there's a key here. This is a square D panel. This is a square D key. It's very important as a commercial inspector that you do have a good supply of panel keys, because you will approach panels that are locked. And if you want to be able to access the interior of this panel, having a key is important. I'm going to open this panel door. Once again, door must open at least 90 degrees. In this case, it's got in excess of 90 degrees. And now I can take a look at inside of the panel. Within the COMSOP, you are not required to remove panel covers or dead front covers. On this commercial panel, this is two different assemblies. If I remove this door, it's extremely heavy, and I will probably not be able to lift it safely. So once again, like we've done in every other panel, I'm going to identify the main on this disconnect, as well as what distributes through. On this particular case, I'm looking at 225 for the panel rating. And so then I want to take a look at the main breaker, which is 200. Again, this matches this. But what's interesting, the electricity on the exterior of this building was 600 volts. But the panel on the interior is 240 volts. So somehow, some way, we've stepped down our voltage from the high voltage of 600 volts to the 240 volts that this panel is. And so we need to identify the device used to step down that, which is called a transformer. And so when we're done with this panel, before I shut it, I will identify where our transformer is, but I'm going to finish the inside of this panel, looking at these breakers, making sure everybody's in place, I don't have any openings, and that I don't have any burn marks. From that, within the COMSOP, we are to identify the absence of labeling. Not the accuracy of labeling, but the absence of labeling. When I look at the panel, I see that there is a label plate, so we are fine with that. So, with that, let's talk about transformers. When you're looking at the electric, and we've identified on the exterior of the building, we've got 600 volts. And then we've come into the interior and this panel and identified it to be 240 volts. We need a device that steps down our electricity, our current, our voltage. And what that is a step-down transformer. Now, transformers are not required to have the same working space rules as the rest of the electric does. So what I mean is the 30, 36, 78 rule does not apply, but all transformers have to be accessible for servicing. So that's why some transformers, to take and eliminate the need for the space on the floor, are mounted up high, as in this case. So how do I know this is the transformer that's servicing this panel? Is I can follow the conduit. Where our conduit comes into the building here, travels up the wall, into the transformer, out of the transformer, into the panel. And by following the conduit, I can actually follow the conductors that are inside the conduit and can connect the dots going, this transformer services this panel. You could also sometimes find it by labeling, but in our case, I can simply witness and view our conduit with the conductors inside going in and out of the transformer. At the beginning of this video, we talked about how all commercial buildings are unique. And depending on how you're maneuvering through the property or maneuvering through the building is the order in which you're going to inspect. Some are very holistic and they like to begin where the service comes in, and some will begin as they go through the property. In a lot of properties, as you see over my right shoulder, this is the utility transformer. This is where all of the power for the entire property is coming into. That is not part of our inspection. That is beyond our scope. But at least identifying where that service is coming will help you identify how things maneuver and migrate through the property. So we go from that utility to over my left shoulder to where all of this distribution is located. We've got a meter socket here. We've got a utility CT panel here. This is rated at 600 volts, 400 amps, and then this is being distributed through the rest of the campus. We've got a disconnect here, a transformer here, and we've got a service disconnect panel here. All of those are going to buildings that we have located on that side of the property. And then we have from here and the conduit coming out, and that's what's going to the building we just inspected. So it's important that you follow and you trace the electric so that first you can identify where the main service disconnect is, what size is it, and is it properly located on the property, protected. And in our case, it is protected. And then building by building by building. If you're only inspecting one building of the whole campus, then you just concentrate on that one building. But if you're inspecting all of them, then you'd look at each and every building individually. So the key is follow the CommSop. It'll guide you through the process. Use your reporting system that you've taken the time to create to help you memorialize and report on what you find. But find the service disconnect. It's either going to be overhead or underground. In our case, we're underground. Find the size of the disconnect and then trace what's going through the building. Follow the CommSop and stay safe because electricity is very dangerous.